Afternoon, everybody. My garden's getting a little bigger. It's looking pretty nice. My tomato plants are getting taller. I thought I'd show you some things that I've been doing with my tomato plants lately. Oh, let's see, where was I? Right here. Well, what I'm doing right now, since I got these cages, and since I've been gone a little bit last week, they're kind of getting a little out of hand, and a lot of them are starting to produce tomatoes. And what I'm doing right here is going to help send more nutrients to the tomatoes, and not so much to these lower branches down here. So I'm just kind of pruning these. You can see what I'm doing here. Kind of just pushing down like that. It breaks a little bit right there. Then it comes off pretty easily. If you just pull down on it, it'll rip all the way down the side. So that's something I've come to realize with these, pruning these like I am. But yeah, I was watching some videos online about someone pruning tomatoes, and he'll call these bottom ones suckers. Ones that, I don't know, I'm not going to say they take too much, but they're reducing these upper branches from getting nutrients where the tomatoes are going to be. But another thing I've been doing with these, see, they're starting to kind of come out of the cages, kind of just pulling them back in. And I'll show y'all what's been happening, or what has happened without these cages, because that's something I was wanting to experience, was seeing what happens without the cages. And I'll take you over to the one I've been working with, or the one that's not in a cage. But I got this one pretty much done on the bottom. Another thing I was wanting to show is, if you can see this area right here where the tomatoes are, or the plant's flowering. Well, I've noticed I took care of tomato plants last year, and this little branch here isn't going to hold those big tomatoes all that well, especially if there's too many. So there's this little flower right here, and I'll just take one off. See, there's 3 now instead of those 4. See, and there's 2 right here. That's okay. I'll just take 2 of them off and leave 2, because these branches can only hold so much. Because those tomatoes, they get pretty big. And right here, you see, I'll go ahead and take these ones off. But alright, yeah, I'll go on to the next one. I was saving this one particularly because it has gotten a little extra unruly, and I'd like to show y'all what I've been doing to get these back in. You really got to be considerate when it comes to pushing them back in. It's the amount of pressure. These break pretty easily, it seems like. But again, I'll go down here and start pruning them. And this will also encourage them to grow taller. Pruning these bottom areas. Yep. Yeah, and with these cages, over there we got a lot bigger ones, and last year they actually got above those big cages. But over here, something I'm considering is not pruning them so much at the bottoms, so they are wider instead of taller, because we don't have a whole bunch of those really tall cages. And this one right here is going to be a doozy. See, I'm kind of pushing down towards the middle, and then I'll pull these in. There we go. It's a little harder doing this with one hand, but I've had quite a bit of practice doing it today, so it's coming a little easier. And I'm not seeing any right now, but I've been having some bugs on these, some big worms. But yeah, I'm not seeing any on this one. I could show y'all, but I'm not seeing any. Let's take another look down here. Good, take that off. That right there. Yeah, and these, it's just, you really just have to consider what the plant needs when it comes to, I know these cages bring in another element, so I have to consider how they're gonna grow into these cages. The size, or yeah, the size of the plant. And then I also have to consider these small little branches where the flowers are, because they can only hold so much, like I said. So I'm taking off a few of the little flowers where the tomatoes will actually be. See, like this one right here, if y'all can see it. I don't know if you can, but see, there's 3, there's like 5 on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and take off these 2 little ones right there, and this one over here. But yeah, you really just need to try some things with your tomato plants, and next year you'll always be better at it, you know? Just see what works, see what doesn't work. It's really just part of life, you know? You just have to try. See what works, see what doesn't work. And don't ever let yourself get to the point where you're not trying to do something different. And for the production aspect, it's good to continue with what works, but there's always should be a little room for experimentation, because that's when you stop growing, I guess you could say. Stop learning new things. So yeah, I think I got this one under control, at least a little bit more anyways. Alright. Now another thing I'm doing while I'm going around here is I'm weeding inside these cages. And oh, my grandma was weeding over there earlier, on the outsides of the cages. See, I can't decide if we really need to weed or not in these middle areas. So it's just extra work. Y'all see what I do. I do a lot of different things, and yeah, I just would like to not have to do so much. And these ones right here, the thing I was saying about considering how you want the plant to grow and how you want to prune it. I might go ahead and just leave these how they are and let them get wide, because they don't have a container that's going to keep them standing up. So I think I'm just going to let these be how they are. A lot of them anyways. And these ones, I put them in a little later than the other ones. And here's my chamomile plant that I transplanted. It didn't do very well, as you can see. Just one of those things I learned, you know? I'm not sure what it was. Could have been a lack of nutrients in the soil, or just the sun and the wind combined. And it could have just been because the plant was too big to transplant and it didn't take very well. But yeah, that guy's not doing all that well. Yep, my green bean plants are getting pretty big. Need to weed them. Kind of planned on doing that today. I'll probably do that next. But here, I'll show y'all. I'll weed this. Get this little weed real quick. My pepper plant. I'll show y'all that plant, tomato plant that doesn't have a cage. That's getting pretty big. Yeah, it's starting to kind of fall over. And that could be part of why it's getting all droopy here, is because it's just closer to the ground, and things decompose whenever they're closer to the ground. The nutrients or the chemicals in the soil will decompose them. But yeah, as you can see, I kind of just stood that guy back up and he's standing up all right. Prune it up a little bit. Really, it's just kind of falling down. Kind of just want to leave it how it is, because like I was saying with those other ones, I kind of just want them to get wide and not so tall. But yeah, these are definitely suckers right here. I might go ahead and pull that. Yeah, we'll see how this one goes. This is definitely an experiment here. And today I also picked some seeds from these lettuce plants I got here. And my cucumber plants have been taking up a lot of space, kinda. Getting big. It's nice though. But I think that's enough for this video. This one went on pretty long. It's good though. Good information. Hope it's helping y'all out. But until next time, y'all have a good day. Happy gardening. Hope it helped.